Man, it is midnight and I am dummy tired right now.
Hi, hello to all you fellow members of Quarantine Club. If you watching this, odds are you probably just came from my Jacksepticeye themed song, and you were just like, whoa, there's no way he made all that from just Jacksepticeye clips. Well, ya boy is here to prove it to you. First off, before I started, I set a couple of rules for myself of what I could use and what I could not use, which were just two things. First off, I couldn't use the sounds of Jack playing the drums. Because, I mean, there were a couple videos that he did of him playing the drums, and I said I'm not allowed to use that because then those are just drum sounds and I'm not actually making anything, and that's just boring. Second is I couldn't use any clips of Jack that were already musically modified in some way, like auto-tune or something for All the Way or the Meme Time theme song. That's weirdly fun to say. Meme Time theme song, meme times. I can't even say it. If anyone wants to know exactly which videos I'm taking all the clips from, they're gonna be shown right now with the titles and stuff, and like these are I will say exactly which one I'm taking from, like when I'm explaining when I took it. So yeah. Anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, well, all this is everything that went into the song, and I know it looks like a lot right now, and you're just like, what is all this crazy nonsense? And it will all make sense in just a second. First, just because we have the obvious clips right here of his voice that I actually just used in the song. I used him spelling laugh as like a way to get a cool riser going. And so then these were all these are just the different letters of laugh, and I have a bunch of filters and stuff over them to make them sound really cool and have like a nice delay effect. Then next, the drop. Well, we have those. It's pretty obvious what those are. It's just a split up version of the high five in two parts, and then a split up version of the whiteboard hit and laugh. Okay, next we have Ireland! Just him shouting Ireland, because, you know, he sure loves Ireland. And did you know he was Irish? Did you know that? You might not have known that. That was just grabbed from a Minecraft video. I actually can't remember which one. I can't remember exactly which one, but he says it in like every single video. And then we just have yeah. This one I just stumbled upon by accident because I happened to be watching the Undertale series, and I saw that and I was just like, that would be awesome. I'm gonna grab that. And so I did. In the second drop, I just kind of grabbed all this stuff again because I wanted to shake things up, and I just laid it all out so he's spelling laugh through the whole like second part of the second drop, because it's kind of like split up. But all right, next let's move on to the drums. This was really fun to make, and by fun I mean, well, yeah, it was fun, it was just tedious. So the different things that I used was I grabbed the kick drum, is just the traditional whiteboard hit, and then I pitched it down and oversaturated it, and then put some like extra boom effects on it, so it just sounds more like a kick drum instead of just like a. Next is the snare, which was actually just yet another clip of Jack saying laugh, which I put a bunch of just like gritty erosion and stuff just to take all the substance out of it, and it would just be left with a. And then next we have the 2 hi-hats. The first one is after Jack hits the whiteboard, some of the markers fall down, and I took one of those markers falling down, and that's one of them, and then I just made it so it's louder and you can hear it more clearly. And then we have the second, which is the first part of him saying C, and then I just took the S and I put a bunch of filters over that, made it sound super good, and so then we could just loop that and it sounds like a tss, tss, tss. And then finally we have this little riser sound, which is like a and this one took me a while to make. This one was Jack making the sound because he's weirdo. And so I grabbed that little sound clip and I made it so that it fades in very slowly until the end. And then I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of erosion on it, which just took even more of the and just turned it into and all of this just crazy nonsense just to get it to sound like not someone going. Next we have the lead synth, which I'm really proud of. I thought it sounded super freaking like techno and awesome. And that was super awesome. Before all the effects and stuff, which is basically just some normal EQ, which, as it looks like, I didn't even use. We have a compressor here, some more EQ that I didn't use. We have Jack going blah. If I just have that playing real quick. So you can see that it just has this tiny little part of the back end of it that's just looping over and over and over again. And the main sound is paired with an electric guitar, which is just warbling back and forth to give it a lot more of like a synthy sound. Because if it didn't have this, then it just sounds like... Which still sounds cool, but it needed some extra oomph. The lead pretty much stays the same all throughout. There's a little part right here where I just kind of used it as a riser. Which basically was just one note, and I pitched it up over time to go up. And then over here during the second drop, I wanted to include the lead as like a kind of nice way to bring everything together again. So yeah, clearly there's some extra stuff going on over there. That's basically just some extra tools and stuff that I threw over this. I threw some like weird filters on it just to shake things up, and then I automated it so that it would be changing over time, and it would just be like just all kinds of crazy shenanigans just to make it all sound cool and different. And yeah, it's just a bunch of fun stuff right there. Okay, next we have the bass, which was probably my favorite part to make. So first we have just the normal part at the beginning, which is just meant to sound like a bass. That is taken from Jack saying Ireland, and then it's just the land part. And then I just kind of took that and it smoothed it out a bit and made it so that it all sounds like really smooth. And then I just put a bunch of filters over it to make it sound more meaty and like it has some substance to it. It just really takes up all the low tones in the song, and it sounds really cool. And then I used it as well for the riser, which was cool. And then we have the main event, the drop, which I wanted it to be kind of the main focus. I just wanted this bass to be like, whoa, which I think I accomplished pretty well. So a lot of these effects actually are to make it sound less growly and crazy, so that I could use it earlier in the song, and then I just get rid of a lot of effects when we go into the drop. But mainly what I did is I changed the LFO rate, LFO being low frequency oscillator, which basically just means that instead of just having it sound like, it sounds like it'll either speed up or slow down. And then as it's just dropping, I changed, it's like the LFO goes to the rhythm, and it just, like you can kind of see as we're moving along, like how it slows down and then speeds up, like with how often. And then I just changed the pitch so that I could have those nice little like, just add some cool little effects and a riser here. Just all a bunch of super cool meaty stuff for the bass. All right. Next we have this horn, which is pretty much the same story as the bass, except like the sound is instead of him being like actually saying something, it was just a pretty raw version of him saying bleh. And the horn is pretty much the same. It was just the sound, and then I made it so it was super low, and then I just put a bunch of effects on it to make it sound like full and super meaty and loud, and it just adds a bunch of effects to the drop. And then the horn paired with the bass just makes the drop sound so much like meaty and awesome. Like that. It's pretty cool. Next, we have probably the most unknown part of the song, which is some nice ambience, just some nice ambient sounds, just to add some more depth and give like a little more, just make the sound feel a lot more full. The ambience is just the in Ireland looped over and over and over and over again. And then that was paired with a nice little, like a little wubby kind of thing, just to give it some extra tonality. And is that even the right word? Probably not, but I think you kind of get what I'm saying with like the hand motions, and yeah, I think you kind of get it. Not a lot of effects on that. It's just kind of some nice little stuff to have in the background to make the song feel a lot more full. And then next we have some pretty fun chords. And that was just some nice synthy stuff that I wanted to put in the background just to add some more stuff to the song. And the reason that I added this in is because like it just sounded really good. I wanted something like almost organ-y, but like very 8-bit organ kind of sound. That makes no sense, especially because it sounds nothing like an organ. But I just wanted to have something extra in the background that just sounds nice and goes with the whole thing. This sound clip is actually the 2 different sound clips that are added together. It was the Y sound in only and the Y sound in your combined together, and then that was paired up with a nice preset sound here of just some gobbledygook. And that was just made like a really nice synthy sound. Not a lot of effects on it, just because I wanted it to sound very dirty, just to be paired with, to be put in both the drop and just by itself to add into the song. And then, as I did with the horn earlier, I just took the synth, and in this little segment right here, I just layered the synth with the normal lead synth, just to give both of them some depth and sounds good together. Man, by itself, that does not sound all that good. Anyway, all of these things work together in order to make the entire song. I'm really, really proud with all the work that I did. I think it sounds really, really good. And I know at some point you gotta be like, okay, if you put enough filters on a sound, is it really the same sound anymore? To which I say absolutely 100% yes. How else am I going to clickbait it for the title of the video? But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope I explained everything good. I hope it made sense to everybody. Yeah, as I said in the other video, if you really like this kind of stuff, then I hope you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, just because it lets me know that people like the stuff and they want to see more, and I will absolutely make more of this stuff if you want to see it. So, yeah, thank you for watching.